What is going on, everybody? It has been a minute. We haven't had a live stream in quite some time. We hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for joining us here on another beautiful Monday. Yeah, I mean, obviously not a ton of Vikings related stuff, but we'll still get on here anyway, see what we can come up with. Jamie, how are things going for you on your end?
Oh man, it's going pretty solid, pretty solid. I see a lot of this weather stuff going on in the chat right here. Actually, let me do the shout outs here first. Actually, we got Dan Henneman already in the building early. What's going on, Dan? SKOL, everyone. Bob Swede, what's going on, my guys? SKOL, no stop. What up, dude? What's up, Mr. Swede? I want that Hitman card. Yeah, we'll get around that. We'll get around to that. Russell in the building. What's going on, Russell? What's up? What's up, fellows? Happy SKOL evening. Let's go. And Kindtig, what's going on, Kindtig? Hashtag SKOL, hashtag Go Blue. Our guy is a Viking fan. And our boy, of course, Big Raylan Dad's in the building too. What is going on, everybody? Let me answer these real quick. So 83 and sunny in Boise. We got 70 and sunny in Ohio. We have the normal drought that goes through California, it seems like every single year. But yeah, it's how my wife, my in-laws all live in California. So I definitely hear about all that kind of good stuff. Here we got, I don't know, today was like low 80s. It's been really hot here. It's been like in the 90s, but this week it's like low 80s. Not much rain or anything right now. It's pretty nice, actually. How's it over there in Minnesota? Flooding
nice
in
and balmy, 71 degrees today. Just it's pretty nice. As a lot of rain the last couple weeks. More coming through.
I heard Valley Fair got like wiped out almost.
Yeah, man.
Hey, what up, Dean?
Yeah, we've had like I said, a lot of rain. More coming over the weekend of the 4th. Hopefully, some of it stays away so people can celebrate. I'll be outside of cabins grilling and some stuff. But time will tell. With Minnesota, the weather always changes on an instant. So.
We'll I mean, hey, out. short week for most people. 4th of July week, of course, like Casey mentioned, not a lot going on in the Vikings world at the moment. But I mean, I feel like 4th of July is like, okay, once 4th of July passes, it's like now your head kind of gets back in the game. Training camp is around the corner. Things start ramping up a little bit. We're going to be ramping up a bit. I know next Wednesday we'll have a show with Dave. We'll be on Bleacher Report next Thursday. And then we will have one more show on the 15th. And then starting on the 29th is when we'll start going back to our Monday shows every single week or whatever here on out until, this time again next year. But
yeah. And then I'm loading up on got the new
look at this
backdrop. This finally came in the mail last week. So this will be getting hung up somewhere back here.
That's
tomorrow.
Nice. That is nice.
I know. I was pumped. Now I just got to get myself a jersey, and then we'll be all set. So yeah, pretty happy.
You just need to get a full on like what you see at like the at the Viking. What is it? The Vikings museum thing where it's just like the whole body mannequin.
Yeah,
just sitting in that corner. Yeah, shoulder pads.
Get all dressed up for the live stream. Yeah.
Good. Hey, we'll get it to this. One second. Actually, let's jump into that. But of course, and I know hey, Gary in the building.
Actually,
what up, Gary?
Actually, the card giveaway can segue us onto the bubble conversation. So I actually start with that, and we'll get on to that.
Actually, perfect because you're talking about safeties, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if there's anything if there's any buzz that's been happening this last week or last couple weeks, safeties has been a topic. So we'll dive into that in a second here. But yes, we are giving away the Harrison Smith Green Scope. What year is this? 2019 out of 75. Out of 75, Harrison Smith Green Scope. This is a sweet card. Get the hashtag SKOLs in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. But get those likes in. All that good stuff. Give it away at the end of the show. Y'all know how this works. Jump right in on the bubble. Players on the bubble. What are we thinking here?
Harrison Smith, 100% absolutely not on the bubble. We all know that. He's back it's his second time redoing his contract under this regime.
I was just going to say, let's start with safeties, and then let's move backwards. Safeties up to defensive line, and then go into offense.
Well, wouldn't
with
you technically go
players.
safeties up to cornerbacks?
No, I mean safeties
Oh,
corner, like ending at defensive line,
I
and then
see.
you know what I'm saying, like the opposite of what everybody does. They
Yeah,
always start at quarterback and end with safeties. Let's start with safeties, end with quarterback.
absolutely, absolutely. And by the way, everybody listening to Kinetic, everyone listening to Kinetic here, hit like, hit
Yeah, get
subscribe if
those
you haven't
likes in.
already. Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, this is the big one right here. I mean, the first round pick of Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, obviously that first draft, we all kind of look back on it and cringe a little bit. Since then, he's done better. Jordan Addison was a hit. Hopefully, he has 2 first round hits this year. But I mean, you can't talk about bubble players as well as failed first round picks without mentioning Lewis Dean. I mean, obviously, the unfortunate injury in London, his rookie season with the really serious ankle fracture. Since then, just he hasn't, I mean, and it's, yes, that set him behind, but it does sound like a lot of the issue is him just not being able to pick up the playbook, which has, and again, if you're not in it, if you're not, practicing the plays every day, especially, with the slow start that he got and then being buried on the depth chart because of that slow start, definitely doesn't help. But I mean, it does sound like it is more than just that. It does sound like some of the mental stuff probably just isn't quite there either, which is unfortunate because I thought Lewis Dean, he had a good mentality coming in. I do think the guy has some talent. I mean, he was the defensive MVP in the national championship game. But at this point, it really does. I mean, he's behind Theo Jackson on the depth chart. And Theo Jackson sounds like has been actually absolutely showing out. I mean, he's not going to get a spot. He's not going to be getting a spot over Cam Bynum or Harrison Smith. Then obviously you got Jay Ward last year, who, when he wasn't lining up offsides on special teams, just kind of showed he has a little bit of flash. So I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Lewis Dean to make the roster. And he's not a guy you think you'd squeeze on the practice squad. It's probably going to be one of those scenarios that if he doesn't work out, you got to just move on and admit your mistake.
Yeah.
And it's getting really, really close to that happening.
Yeah, and Big Rail and Dad, that's a good point. Because that's the thing is, I mean, who knows how significant that injury ultimately was, whether it was which speed's a big one, but I mean, like mentally, like a lot of reasons why an injury like that could really screw up a player and their their potential and their chance of growing. And maybe that is what happened with Lewis Dean. Obviously, it didn't feel like based on at that time when he got injured, it didn't really feel like we were super close to having him being a starter or anything like that, but he was still young, still a rookie. We didn't see a lot of, even under Kevin O'Connell now, you don't really see a ton of rookies playing right away anyways. But like I said, I like going into this whole offseason and other than going into OTAs, I probably would have been like, I think they're going to give Lewis Dean like one more year, or at least my money would be on that Lewis Dean would probably like, he would get his chance. Like maybe there's a thing where he just didn't really get his opportunity yet, and maybe he would. But with everything that's coming out of OTAs, even though it's not exactly coming straight from the coaches, but everybody's talking to him, it just sounds like Lewis Dean is, man, he's at the bottom of the safeties. And I know Najee Thompson made the switch over to safeties, and we all know how beloved he is by Viking fans as a gunner. And it sounds like even he is going to be above Lewis Dean. So Lewis Dean's definitely on the bubble. Speaking of Najee Thompson, you do think that he is going to have a roster spot just specifically, same with last year, because of his potential as a gunner by itself and having that on special teams.
As long as he quits overrunning on at that kind of
he was
position,
a rookie.
Just fine.
GG, what's the first shot you let me buy you at SKOL?
Peanut butter whiskey. Peanut butter
I don't
whiskey.
even care. Just I'll let you pick again, Gary.
As long as it's not Fireball, I'm in.
I'll do Fireball. I'm not a Jaeger. No Jaeger. I used to be, but not no more. I can do Fireball though. What up, Adam? Adam in the building. What up? What up? He's no seeking making, as we're all told. Yeah. Obviously,
I mean, maybe
I think he's
burying him on the depth chart. Maybe that's just the last gasp to get to light a fire under him and see if he can find something. Yeah. But we'll
see. Or, I mean, maybe these are rumors. Maybe people, I don't know. I guess people are watching him. I mean, I'm sure some of these people are actually watching him during OTAs. Obviously, no pads, all that kind of good stuff. But it just did not look good. And like you mentioned, Theo Jackson was kind of like the darling of OTAs. It's funny how like some of the stuff doesn't come out for a couple weeks after it's over. But all of a sudden this past week, everybody's talking about how good Theo Jackson looked. and that he looked like people are saying that he looked the best or at least the most improved out of anybody out on the field during that time. So we did see some good things from him. He was kind of like that, I don't know, that random guy. It felt like he came in and played some stuff, but you didn't really think he was going to stick around. And it'd be really interesting if he ends up just being really good. Kind of like that jump that we saw from Cam Bynum last year from the safety position. So that should be really interesting to see. Other spots on there, I mean, obviously Metellus, I mean, we're going to be pretty deep there. Metellus is obviously going to stick around. Bynum, Harry, now Najee. Now I'm assuming Theo Jackson. Theo Jackson already was last year, so it kind of like at this point you're like seeing is, the odd man one out. But yeah. So going into cornerbacks though, because this is an interesting one. You got, well, the big question mark I know is, I mean, talking about Lewisine is going to be Andrew Booth Jr. That's going to be a big one, and he's going to be on a lot of roster people or a lot of people's bubble, which I do think he is supposed to be. And there was stuff coming out at one point about Lewisine and Andrew Booth both being there, though we did see some progression out of him going into this last season. And then, I mean, I think there could be a chance. Talking about surprise bubbles, and maybe some people say maybe not that big of a surprise, but a Caleb Evans, I would not be surprised if he's on there. I know Kwesi has this thing for him, or someone has some sort of like thing for a Caleb Evans, I think, like relationship, whatever it is. And it feels like there's a chance he could be on the bubble. I felt like I saw more good things out of from Andrew Booth at the end of the season than we saw from a Caleb Evans. So I think that's going to be a interesting roster or bubble, like potential bubble player as well. Other than that, because I mean, Kyrie Jackson, he's I obviously rookie. He's probably going to be around no matter what. I really excited about him anyways.
I have a feeling that I think Dwight McGlothern could. I mean, speaking of McGlothern,
Dwight McGlothern.
I haven't heard a lot about him, but I have a feeling he could be one of those guys that like is sneaky good during camp, right? And then
it could be, or he could end up being a super obvious he didn't get drafted for a reason type of cut too.
Right.
Like I wouldn't be so. I mean, obviously people say, "Oh, he's the best one of the best undrafted players." But I mean, there's a lot. Like, can he beat? I mean, how many corners are we gonna have? Can he beat? Like, you're gonna have Kyrie Jackson. Can he beat out Andrew Booth? That's gonna be a big one. Him or Andrew Booth. I could see that. A Caleb Evans. I'm assuming. I would be surprised if a Caleb Evans is cut before Andrew Booth or McGlothern. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, then outside of that, because there's a huge veteran presence in that cornerback room, right? You got Byron Murphy. You do have Shaq Griffin, who I think is kind of a shoo-in to make the roster. Then you also have Mekhi Blackmon back there as well. So there's some solid veteran names on the roster that are going to for sure eat up at least 3 cornerback spots. I feel like I'm missing somebody who started across from
Byron Murphy.
Byron Murphy last year. Was it Evans start the year?
Yeah, it was Evans. Blackmon. Did you already mention Blackmon?
Yep, Blackmon. Yep.
Yeah, that's
because I had Shaq Griffin, Byron Murphy, and Blackmon are kind of the 3 that I think are going to be
Byron Murphy, a Caleb Evans.
A Caleb Evans.
Who would play in the slot or in the nickel during these? Was it Murphy moving up and then someone else? Blackmon kind of was taking a lot of those. I think it was just a Caleb Evans. I don't think there's no one else. I don't think.
Yeah, it sounds. But I mean, but still, there's a solid amount of veteran corners on this team. They're going to take up at least 3 roster spots. Plus, you mentioned Kyrie Jackson. That's 4. So it really does come down to how many corners do you want to keep on this team, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I wouldn't be surprised because I wouldn't be surprised if we could probably have up to 6, but you already know you probably have freaking 5 safeties, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, secondary, someone's going to get cut. If I was going to make a guess, I think McGlothern, I don't think he's going to bring enough to the table. Maybe, but I would be surprised, even though I know a lot of people like him. He looked, I know he looked good from like a PFF standpoint and a statistical standpoint, but he's going to have to, almost beat out guys like a Caleb Evans, which isn't impossible. So I'd be like, I think 2 guys are going to end up getting cut. So if that's McGlothern and Andrew Booth,
I think he'd be a very safe, like you're most likely going to be able to get him on the practice squad after you cut him. Like I don't think there's going to be people lining up at the door unless he really shows out, but you just can't find room for him. I don't think there's going to be a ton of people lining up at the door for his services. So I do think he is a guy you could pretty easily sneak onto your practice squad.
Yeah, just rolling through stop signs, Gary. Let's go. That's what we're talking about. Just don't hurt yourself. What team is
right now? It's Caleb Evans, Byron Murphy, Andrew Booth, Mekhi Blackman, Najee Thompson. That does not include the rookies at this point. So
yeah. Hey, what up, the Blackout Bundy? SKOL, baby, SKOL. Hey, everybody in here again. We're giving away this Harrison Smith green scope out of 75, 2019. Let's go. This is a sweet card. Get the hashtag SKOLs in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, so bubble players there. I would say McGlothern. I would say Andrew Booth, and I would put a Caleb Evans on that list. And I would say
everybody else feels pretty safe. Like you're not going to move on. You're not going to get rid of Byron Murphy. Mekhi Blackman's going to be here because he's a second round guy or
and I'm still hoping he's still my guy. I want him to. I'm hoping we see that big jump out of him. And I know there's some people who are still saying that.
And then Shaq Griffin, I think he's kind of a shoo-in to make the roster as well because he does bring that veteran presence as well.
Yeah, he's
been a solid player. So I think he's for sure guy who's safe on the road. But then again, that's what we thought last year about a couple of guys. Who was that? Juwan Johnson, was that his name? What was his name?
Juwan. He ended up. Did he end up ultimately making
on the practice squad?
I think we cut him right at the end, and then he came back like the next week or something. Juwan, what is it? Juwan Jennings? I don't remember.
I don't know. Wasn't Juwan Jennings a receiver?
Get those likes in. Get those likes in.
Either way, potential there for some. So then I guess move on to linebacker where Ivan Pace, Brian Cashman. You feel like that's your legitimate people keep coming in as soon as I start talking, and they start bringing up the players we're about to talk about. So it's perfect. We were getting into linebackers. Ivan Pace, Blake Cashman, safe for sure. I think you're starting interior linebackers. You want to go back to another potential bubble guy from Kwesi's first draft class, a guy I did like a lot, but hasn't really. Brian Asamoah, obviously he dealt with an injury as well early on last year. But even when he came back healthy, never really found his footing, never really got a lot of playing time, mainly because of how well Ivan Pace and who's the other guy we had last year who had the compartment?
Jordan Hicks.
Who was that? Jordan Hicks, yeah. Like those two played really, really well, so he didn't get a lot of run there. So, I mean, unless he really takes a big step forward this year, I think Asamoah could be another potential roster bubble guy, especially because we picked up a couple interior. Did we pick up a couple interior linebackers?
So we got Kamu Gruger Hill. Kamu, I don't know I'm terrible at pronouncing names, by the way, so I'm just gonna butcher all of these, but I gotta say it anyways. Abraham Bioplan, I don't know. They picked some tough names for this. And then we got Dallas Gant. I got that one, Dallas Gant. So, I mean, and then KJ Cloyd. So we got a couple guys, which, so after Ivan, based on Minnesota's depth chart right now here, actually, you know what? Might as well bring this up real quick. So based on the depth chart right now, this is what we're talking about. You got Ivan Pace Jr. and Blake Cashman is the top two. Brian Asamoah right now on the Vikings, according to ESPN, they have Asamoah at number 3. So he probably is considered a bubble player, though he is a player that I'm still hoping that isn't going to be the case for him. I'm hoping that we do get a chance to, I don't know, give him one more time. We felt pretty good about him going into year 2. So I don't know. And a couple of these guys, I just don't know a lot about them. So I don't, it's hard for me to tell you how I feel about those players.
But they only kept 4 interior linebackers last year, right? Because we had Hicks, we had Asamoah, we had
Troy Dye last year.
We had Troy Dye, and then we had Ivan Pace, obviously. So I do think we only had 4 interior linebackers. So I could definitely see that being the case again this year as well. So I mean, who knows? Maybe Asamoah just makes it out of just because there's no other guys available. Because we did, after the draft, I believe linebacker was one of the positions we pointed out that we were still kind of weak at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, again, awesome. I do think he needs to show a little something more than he showed last year, but hopefully he can do that.
And then we can jump into this stuff. Is he going to play any linebacker, strictly edge?
I mean, I would assume strictly edge, and I think he might move around, but I think he's going to move around on pass rush. I don't think he's going to play like a run stopping interior.
I think he's going to be. I think you'll see him like playing the flats and stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
I know, like as far as like an outside, like a a general outside line 3-4 linebacker might do. Yeah. But I don't think he's going to play in the middle of the defense or anything.
No. And if he does, he might be moving around on pass rush downs just to shuffle things up a little bit.
Yeah. And and honestly, with Brian Flores, you don't know where anybody's going to play.
That's true.
Ever. Yeah. Like he could, I mean, who knows for sure? I'm sure he'll play sometimes in the middle. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he does. But going to that position, obviously, we're talking about Dallas Turner. Of course, there's no question this guy is going to be balling. I can't wait to see what he's going to bring to the table. I did see that there was a news report, which seems pretty obvious, or I guess they're saying that if they don't see anything from JJ McCarthy, someone said if they don't see anything from JJ McCarthy or Dallas Turner this year, that a lot of front office jobs could be in doubt or whatever.
You remember who that was, right?
Oh, yeah, but he's been on Charlie Walter. Right?
He was on what?
With Kirk Cousins.
Oh, whatever. He was off with JJ.
You said $45 million for Kirk Cousins.
Remember then Justin Jefferson was talking about how things aren't going well and he was most likely going to be traded. How'd that go down?
Can't really trust anything he says.
Because
he's just throwing a dart at a fucking
I think most people agree that Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi are at least getting a grace year this year to work out, because obviously they went in, like the front office wouldn't sign off on them signing Sam Darnold if they weren't going to give them some time to develop JJ McCarthy. So I personally, I don't think that anyone's jobs are on the line this year. So that's my 2 cents. I just think that's Charlie Walter.
Yeah. I don't, and plus it's not going to happen because I mean, JJ McCarthy, if he doesn't play, like it's just, that's the plan, whatever. Dallas Turner, I mean, if he just comes in and he sucks, I guess, things will be questionable. But at the same time, like it's not going to happen. It's not happening. So it doesn't really matter.
I think even if McCarthy doesn't play, we'll know, like whether or not it's because he's just not like they don't think he's going to be good enough, right? Because eventually, like that type of stuff will leak out to reporters, people that are there. Like if he's getting no work with anybody other than like the third team, then you might think something's up. But I mean, we'll know quickly if he's just not picking things up, and I don't foresee that being the case.
Did we mention Jay? Did we mention Jay Ward during safeties?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, shoot, I missed that. Which it sounds like he's also looking. People are excited about him, and he's looking good as well. So yeah, I don't know. Lewison's on the way out, I think. Sure. Other players there. What's that?
Are we still talking inside linebackers?
Outside.
Or are we moving on to outside
linebackers?
I mean, because obviously, I think there's a lot of talent at that position. Grenard and Van Ginkel, the free agent signings. Obviously, I think like Van Ginkel hasn't gotten to practice to this point because I think he's dealing with a foot injury or something. But they said he should be good to go by the time camp rolls around. They got Pat Jones, who has shown some flashes. So I think right there you have 4 solid guys at
who you said Dallas Turner, Van Ginkel, Grenard, and who was your 4th one? Pat Jones.
Pat Jones. Yep. And then obviously you got undrafted free agents. Last year's undrafted free agent Andre Carter, and this year you got Bo Richter coming in as well. They picked up Jihad Jihad Ward, was he an interior guy or did he play some outside linebacker? Because they have him on here as right defensive end, which is like that kind of that interior spot.
Yeah.
But I thought they said he could rush the passer from outside as well.
I'm assuming they're probably bringing him in since we're desperate at that spot.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I'm that's what my guess is. Because what's his size?
He's 284 pounds. So
yeah, he's definitely probably playing up at the line, I bet.
Yeah.
Which could be an interesting one. I mean, he's
playing interior coming off a 5-sack season, like that's kind of what we're missing there. So,
geez, Bob, I might have to pull the red shark out of the garbage. Only 35% of first rounders make it as quarterback. So Williams, May, Daniels, Penix, and JJ, some of them aren't going to make it. My guess is it's going to be May,
And
Penix,
only because of his situation. Only because of his situation. I think he has all the talent in the world. I just think he's put in a terrible spot.
I think he has all the talent in the world. I think he should be good, and his situation isn't going to help him. But I would say, like, when I watched him, there was out to me. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, he doesn't seem as smooth and as ready. Which
right. So he needs to develop. And
right.
due to the situation, he won't get an opportunity to develop.
Yeah.
Or because he's going to be forced into action with a subpar roster.
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be significant.
I could honestly see Daniels again due to situation. I could see Daniels being a guy that doesn't get his full on opportunities to make it either.
He still has. I mean, he's got some good wide receivers and some weapons there. Where Drake May literally is in a terrible situation, and I think Jaden Daniels is more ready than Drake May is. I mean, Jaden Daniels is older. Obviously, he came off a season that was extremely accurate, really good in the pocket, all those kinds of things. Hey, what up, AJ? But no, back to edge rushers, outside linebackers. You mentioned the 4 with Pat Jones. I'll actually say I think Pat Jones is on the bubble for sure. I think Pat Jones is on the bubble. I think you got, like you mentioned, Andre Carter, which we didn't really see like a huge jump from him, but his rookie year, people know that he has all the talent to potentially be a good player. He's in a similar situation as Gabriel Murphy. So yeah, Gabriel Murphy's another guy. So you got Andrew Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner, Pat Jones, Gabriel Murphy, Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Carter, Bo Reichter. Man, and I like Andre Carter. I like Bo Richter. I like Gabriel Murphy. I think we see at least one of them make the roster for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have 2 of them make the roster and end up letting Pat Jones go. Because Pat Jones, I mean, last year was the year we needed to see that step from Pat Jones. And we've seen some, but I wouldn't say he stepped up the way we were hoping. Especially like we were expecting him to at least I think before the season we kind of had predicted that he'd beat out what's his name? Trying to think. Our outside linebacker. Wanham, yeah. So he never turned into. So I just, and then you got these guys like Andre Carter, undrafted free agents, Andre Carter, Bo Rector, and Gabriel Murphy, but all of them have so much potential. Literally, with Andre Carter and Gabriel Murphy, you could argue they were the best outside of Ivan Pace Jr., obviously, but the best undrafted free agents the past 2 seasons, and they're both going to be on this team this year. And Bo Reichter, that dude's an absolute athletic freak, and he is. People use the word dog. That dude is a straight dog. So he's one of the players I'm most excited to watch out of anybody going into training camp, actually. So I don't know. My guess, Pat Jones on the bubble. I wouldn't be surprised if we keep what would it be 6 players from that position, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's we keep 2 people out of Andre Carter, Bo Reichter, and Gabriel Murphy.
I just think it'd be tough to only go into the season with Van Ginkel and Grenard is the only guy that have real experience playing in game. I don't know. Unless the other ones really show something like they're going to be day one ready.
I mean, Patrick Jones,
that's going to be.
He's a veteran, but at the same time, there's always that thing. Is he's a veteran, but is he good enough? How much? Are you willing to let one of these other guys go? Andre Carter, I felt like he was someone that someone would pick up. Well, maybe not pick up. That's hard. That's a hard one to say on that, I guess. Yeah. So it'd be those 7. But that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
But at the end of the day, we're sitting here looking at safeties and corners. We're like, this guy bubble most likely cut. This guy bubble most likely cut. When it comes to edge rusher, it's good to the point where there's a lot of guys that could be bubble guys or could not be. There's a ton of options there. So we're gonna have depth at the position no matter what.
Yeah.
So those are the conversations you want to have. You want those decisions to be difficult.
Right.
And I think they're going to be difficult in a good way. There's a lot of guys here that have a lot of talent. Which one do we get rid of? It's going to be tough to decide. And that's what I think it's going to be.
And you got 3. And maybe I'm just high on – I think I'm going to be kind of biased towards Bo Rector just because I want him to Because I don't know, there's something about his game that's just so fun to watch. I'm like rooting for him. Like that's like your Levi Drake Rodriguez. So I'm like, I'm not saying he's gonna make it, but I like Gabriel Murphy a lot too. Andre Carter, like, of course we would love to see those out of them and Patrick Jones. We want to see them because they have more upside than Patrick Jones does,
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. But the defensive interior, obviously, we don't have any sort of talent other than Harrison Phillips that really shows up, I guess. I mean, Jonathan Bullard looked pretty solid last year. So just a lot of solid players. We didn't really if there's one position, and this is saying that we didn't completely fail on the whole guard situation by getting Reisner back or whatever. If there's one position that we just never really added a player in there, it'd be that defensive interior or that defensive line in general. But you do have Jonathan Bullard, saw last year. Harrison Phillips, obviously, he was our best defensive lineman last year. You got Jerry Tillery, Jonah Williams. Which one is what one is the Raider again? Jonah Williams? Or is that?
I think so. Okay, yeah, because Jerry Tillery was from the Rams. He was the former first-round pick,
right?
Who just never really worked out.
Oh wait, no, that was. Wait, that's not the Jonah Williams we have, is it?
Oh, Jonah Williams came from the Rams as well, it looks like.
Yeah, so Jerry Tillery is the Raiders guy.
No, I thought Jerry Tillery was Rams as well, wasn't he? No, he was. You're right. He is the Raiders. Yeah, I think
he's a Raider. He was the first round pick.
He was a first round pick by the Rams, I think.
Yeah. And then we got him from the Raiders. Yeah. So he could be an interesting one. He's kind of a wild card because obviously first for a reason. I know some people said that they did like him. So I mean, he's not going to be a roster, but there's going to be. This is going to be the position where you feel like there's going to be a lot of bubble players, and
and not in a great way.
No, not in a great way at all. Jalen Roy, there was some good things coming out of OTAs and stuff about him. Seeing him step up would be huge. We got James Lynch back, which is really interesting. Right. I liked him. He was one of my favorite players his draft year.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people that think James Lynch has been underutilized here. To where when he gets on the field, he shows out, but he hasn't gotten as much opportunity, which is kind of contradictory in a way, I guess. But it'll be interesting to see there. We already talked about Jahad Ward as well, coming off a 5-sack season for the Giants. So that could be an interesting piece there. Yeah. And the unfortunate part, Harrison Phillips, he's not a true nose tackle. Like as we've said, we're missing
that true nose tackle.
If you looked at this defensive interior, what we have, and tossed Tavondre Sweat at nose tackle, I'd feel a million times better about the makeup of this defensive line. And I think that's kind of the unfortunate part here with Harrison Phillips. Is again, I like him at that defensive end spot. I don't like him at nose. And then you got
I like him better than having nothing, but I guess
but he's not, he has to be on what there. You're looking for at the nose.
No. But that's where Jaquelin. I mean, if Jaquelin Roy can step, Jaquelin Roy's 315. He could step up and be more of that nose tackle type of player. I mean, that would be best case scenario is he shows how fits that nose tackle, and you can put Phillips to one of the other end sides.
Yeah,
that would be like absolute best case scenario.
Then we also got that Taki Taimani, who's kind of a shorter, stout guy. He's not super big, 6'1", 309. They got him kind of listed as that in that nose tackle position as well. So, unfortunately, not a lot of size. And you got Tyler Manoa, 6'5", 315. That's decent size as well. So there's options, but that's still I think was the biggest question mark coming out of the draft is why they didn't add enough to that defensive tackle position. Yeah. And then obviously you do have Levi Drake 100%. Rodriguez, 6'4", 290, not super big. Good motor. People like his attitude, but again, he's a 7th round pick for a reason.
Right.
What's going to happen there? I don't really know. But I mean, if you're asking me what position I'm most concerned about, and I think everybody would probably say it is that the interior of the defensive line.
Yeah. What up, Barber? What up, dude? Welcome in. Hey, squad. Happy Monday, SKOL. What up, Squad 51? Welcome in. Hey, everybody, again, giving away this Harrison Smith Green Scope Auto 75. Get those hashtag SKOLs in the comments, like the videos, and subscribe to the channel. I do want to say we have a lot. So, we haven't been live as much right now. Obviously, it's down time of the year, but I'm telling you, we are working on some stuff to really bring our channel and our content hopefully to a different level. So just let y'all know we're putting in work over here. I think you're going to see something a lot different going into the season this year. It's going to be sick. It's going to be sick. I mean, if you've been watching our videos, you can already see we've been making some changes with that and everything. So we're changing a lot of things for the better, I think. So just want to bring that up real quick. So offense, I guess probably start with the offensive line and make our way in.
Yeah. Tackle, obviously you're set, right? Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill. Brian O'Neill, yes, he did have a down year last year. And he might, he's at that age where he might slowly be declining. We'll see what happens there, but I do still think he's solid. I love Christian Darrisaw at the left side. Plus, Christian Darrisaw is going into a contract year here, so I think he's going to want to stay healthy and he's going to want to put on the absolute best show that he can this year. So then you kind of have a little battle going on here between Reisner, Ed Ingram, and Blake Brandel, because the way that Kevin O'Connell put it is that Reisner is in play at basically both guard spots, and he does have some and he does have experience at center if it does come down to that. So
ESPN actually has Dalton Reisner as the starting guard.
I saw that.
But yeah, it's going to be a three-man race. I love it. I'm glad. I think Ed Ingram, I think he's at a point in his career where he should earn his spot.
It's year 3, and this is the year that he does have to.
So I think that's really good. I like that a lot. Grabbing Reisner again and having a 3-headed battle. Best man wins, and then you feel confident that you still have. It's the same thing as we had last year, but you feel confident that you at least have one guy coming in that can kind of just in case. Like Brandel's been pretty solid at coming in for some of our injured players and things like that.
And Quesenberry spotted well last year as well. Walter Rouse, wasn't that the guy they were talking about that they could potentially kick him into guard as well, potentially, if need be?
Yes. They said that he could be in it. Right? So that's going to be the interesting thing about this is Walter Rouse and Juergens.
Michael Juergens was a huge, Weezy was pumped to get him where he got him.
Super pumped. So I don't know. Those are going to be 2 guys to really watch. Obviously, I think both of those guys are going to make the roster. So I think some of these other guys like Dan Freeney, Henry Beard, maybe even Quesenberry. I'm sure Quesenberry will stick around. Jeremy Flax. There's a couple of players there, but I think Michael Juergens and Walter Rouse, they're going to be an interesting one to watch. I do think Walter Rouse ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of keep him as one of the tackles, because outside of Quesenberry, we don't really have another guy that can come in and fill some shoes.
Right. But I mean, but the thing is, if Reisner and Ingram both win their jobs, right, and you keep Brandel on the team, then he's going to be your swing tackle / guard. He can play pretty much any position you have other than center. So
GG cool making changes, but when can I rock your garb hats and shirt? So we have a list. Gary, we created a list of all our things that we're trying to cross off and accomplish before the season, and merch is on there, hats specifically. I think that's what we're going to do next is we're going to just do hats next. And then eventually sweatshirts just are really expensive to get in bulk. Like,
so we got to get monetized again.
Yeah, we got to get monetized again, which we should get. We should have by our next Monday show, hopefully. So yeah, we got to get, my guy. Yep. Billy Grayland dad got his shirt. Let's go. Hey, it's good quality shirt. It's a good quality shirt. I love my shirt. But yeah, so we're going to work on some merch that's on the list. And we're hoping to have definitely some help fund. Gary, you're too much, man. That's my guy right there. I know you will, Gary. I know you will.
Once we get that monetization, super chats will be open. Hint, hint, everybody. I'm kidding. But also,
I mean, he's not actually kidding.
I'm not actually kidding.
No, Gary, we appreciate that big time. Well, we got it. We're allocating. So I guess you could say we're trying to really rank what is important to put the money to, I guess, make our channel the best it can be. Like, we're just in a stage where we're really wanting to make our content better. We want to make our live streams it's going to be looking a lot different than what it is right now. Probably in the near future. We have tons of plans, but we might be putting money in places to, try to make them better, I guess is what you could say. Outsourcing, things like that. No stop on some GG merchandise. We do have the shirts. We do have
we do have t-shirts. So if you need one,
Though we are running out of extra large.
We are.
But we do have some larges. And
we're making no assumptions there. Whatever size you have, we don't judge.
We just don't have. Yeah.
T-shirt, by the way. Other things we judge. People judge.
Yeah, dude. Oh, we already know. You're our guys. You're our guys. I rock the shirt you made. Hey, bro. We appreciate all of you guys for real. We do. That's why. This is the reason why we're gonna put. We want to make the best fucking Viking content out there. Not even just the best Viking content. We want the best content in sports. We're doing things differently. We in general, we want to try our best to do that anyways. But that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're spending our time on now. Like we get together and we're planning and working and all these kinds of things to hopefully bring you guys like some good shows, some good content, something that we would like to see from other people, I guess is what you'd ultimately say. So what? Yeah.
We did nothing bad. Nothing bad. We didn't go Dr. Disrespect on the bit here. We just we actually got, our payment address wasn't verified, and for some reason you have to try 4 times to get a code sent to you before you can, and you have to verify your address, whatever. So now we have to send a photo ID, which is mine, that matches my address to show that I actually live where I say I do. Yeah. And I haven't switched over my driver's license since I bought my house, so I got to go do that tomorrow.
It's literally they send a letter to his house and we put a 6-digit code in. That's it. Yep. And we've sent it. We've been sitting for like 6 months now. And each time we get request one, it never makes it there. So that's the reason why. So we're working on that. I'm buying Casey's GG Sports condoms for the record. We are getting some of those. But we had the Magnum condoms were out of stock, so
oh god.
Anyways, hey, no, seriously though, we appreciate you guys and we're gonna work our asses off to really make our shit better. We're at a point now where we feel like we're getting ready to kind of take our content to another level. I think you're gonna see that. I hope you're seeing it already in the videos that we've been putting out. Not as many videos, but we put a lot of work in almost every single one that we put out. And I think you're going to see that in our live streams in the near future. And you're going to see that we're going to be doing our post games. Anyone that's been around, we do post games, but our post games are going to be better. And just all kinds. We have a lot of plans in place. We have a lot of plans. We're not going anywhere. We're only going to get better here. But yeah, first off, we appreciate you all being in here because it's huge for us. I mean, if it wasn't for all of you guys, I don't think we'd have the extra motivation, ambition to really try to make good content.
Yeah, Jamie's gonna start crying.
Yeah, you guys are making me cry here. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, back to offense here. We're
getting
fullback.
Fullback. No roster bubble needed. Fullback on the roster. Best
there's not even a backup. That's how obvious it is.
Exactly.
CJ Ham.
That's about all we got. JJ, how was 9 to noon this morning? I heard you got to open that. That's pretty cool.
Dude, I tapped in for a minute. JJ.
I didn't get
that's awesome, bro.
Work, but how was it, man? Must have been kind of fun.
Dude, the nephew's just doing crazy things, man. Crazy things, my guy. Let's go. I mean, you're just like you're a regular. That's regular territory on Paul Allen's show now. Dude, I know we need to get those credentials. You think we're hoping? You think Bleacher Report would do that for us?
We'll reach out to Rick Sosa and see if we can get some of those field passes.
Yeah, Rick Sosa is the connection.
Yeah.
The great guys. What up, Dylan? How are we feeling about Cam Akers? I guess we could go. We did fullback. We can go into running back here.
Is that actually legit? That if Cam Akers
gets sounds cleared, like there's a good chance. I didn't even know we had Myles Gaskin back on the roster.
Yeah. Yep.
So my thing is you got Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, Kene Nwangwu, obviously, Myles Gaskin. I don't see Myles Gaskin.
No.
He's obviously a bubble player. We're just filling a roster spot with him, I'm sure. I think Kene could make, like I would have said it without the rule change, maybe we don't see him back, but it sounds like it could be really beneficial to him. And I do think he's the best kick returner on our team. So I do kind of see him around. So that's the thing with, hey, Two-Tone, what up? That's the thing with Cam Akers. Even though I really liked before he got injured, is there going to be enough room with Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler now? Unless you feel like Cam Akers could be the better option than Ty Chandler. but they both look good when they were able to play. I have a hard time seeing that, but I think at the same time, I mean, we have Myles Gaskin right now. Put Cam Akers in that roster spot immediately, and
then see what happens through training camp.
See what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what we do at running back, but for sure, Aaron Jones. I don't know. I just feel like Ty Chandler is going to be just I feel like he's making the roster. Like and then like you said with the new kickoff rules, I do feel like Kenny makes a team. So I mean, is there a chance they carry 4 running backs? I don't personally see it. We didn't carry 4 last year, did we? We kept it. We kept it right around 3. I thought with Madison.
Yeah, I felt like Gaskin was kind of like in it.
Kenny, I thought were our 3.
Yeah, I think Gaskin was kind of just like jumping in the picture here.
Well, yeah, I think that was after the Akers injury.
Wasn't he on the roster even during preseason?
But also, Kenny was also injured. So Kenny didn't really. True. He was also injured.
That's what it was.
Really,
yeah. I can't imagine why we'd have 4 running backs.
No, I
other
can't
than
see
your
it.
unless
you really like what Akers, Chandler, and Aaron Jones complement each other with, and you keep Kenny literally just for kick returns. But yeah, I don't.
That's the only reason why. That's why, like, I know the Cam Akers stuff isn't a fact. It hasn't happened yet, but that's a reason why, like, it feels like it wouldn't happen because I think Cam Akers is good enough. I think he should be on a team. Yeah, but otherwise, like, is he going to come here and just play a third fiddle? That's the part that's kind of more difficult for me. But he's also coming back from an injury, so maybe he would.
For sure, yeah. I guess tight end next. TJ is obviously. It is because TJ starting on the PUP. It's kind of sounds like he'll be out there at least the first 6. You do have Josh Oliver, who was brought here to be the blocking tight end, right? Who
he ain't going nowhere.
Was underutilized coming into the season as a pass catcher. Didn't really show us a ton in that department last year. Obviously, I feel like right around the time we found out that Hawkinson was going to be on the PUP to start the year, that's when Robert Tonyan came in, who has had some good seasons with the Packers, was with the Bears last year. I don't think he did too much. But we've seen what he can do. He did have that really solid season with the Packers. Then, of course, you do have Johnny Munt, who Kevin O'Connell has called the best number 3 tight end in the NFL. So it's interesting. And I mean, I see a scenario where you just kind of keep that as is with Hawkinson being out. You got Josh Oliver, Tonyan, and Johnny Munt. And then once Hawkinson comes back, you feel like Tonyan would be kind of on the chopping block there. Since he is the guy on the shorter deal, I feel like Josh Oliver, you have too much money invested there.
Yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. It's Johnny Munt, even though obviously fan favorite, comes up big when he needs to, just a first down machine blocker. When he needs to. But Robert Tonyan he's like a Johnny Munt that is even just been more successful in this league at that kind of role. Another guy we do got to mention is did you mention Harry?
I did not mention N'Keal Harry and you still have Nick Muse.
And Nick Muse, who's injured right now, which obviously I think Nick Muse is going to take Johnny Munt. But so I think that's the big one. N'Keal Harry, obviously, you don't see it a lot where someone changes their position and ends up being a really good player at like his new position. Though you feel like a guy like him with his size, being a first round wide receiver, maybe he'd be able to make that switch. At least the idea of it sounds really nice at the very least, but he's not on here for whatever reason. I don't even see him under wide receiver, but I could see him. I want him as obviously, he's not just a bubble player. Like, his chances of making this roster are probably very slim now, but he's someone that I think everybody wants to root for, because you don't know if he turns out he could be one of the best pass catching tight ends in the league. You'd think, right? Potentially.
Obviously former first round pick at wide receiver. He was a Bill Belichick first round pick, so a lot of times you do just need to take those and kind of set them off to the side, since Belichick was not the best drafter in the world. But he has shown to have some potential. So, like you said, he put on some. What do you say? Put on like 25 more pounds or something like that.
Yeah, at least like 10, up a little, 15 pounds, something like that. Yeah,
definitely tight end position a little better. So it'll be interesting.
It's interesting.
It'll be interesting to see.
I'm excited.
When Hawkinson comes back, it is what it is at that point, because it's Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, and the rest of them pretty much. So,
yep. Which, I don't think, even with Tonyan, with Johnny Munt, with Muse, with N'Keal Harry, out of those 4, I think whoever's literally the best player for this team, which generally is how it works, but I don't think we're married to any of those 4 players. right?
Right.
Even though
I
I
feel
know
like
we feel about Muse and Mont.
yeah,
I don't think there's any
Hawkinson and
merit.
Oliver are the two that I
Are the
feel
two that
like
obviously aren't going
yeah,
anywhere. So it'll be
yeah, for
interesting.
sure.
But I can't imagine we're just going to be holding four. Like even, I mean, last year, what we ended up going in the season with 4 tight ends, I believe.
Did we? It sounds right.
I think so. With Mont
Hawkinson,
and Muse.
yeah, yeah. Muse did make the
So,
initial roster, didn't he?
which seems like
Yep.
a lot. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do that again, but it'll be interesting to see. Wide receivers, which I also want to come here because we can kind of build this into like a hey, what up, Steve?
What's going on, Steve?
My guy, our favorite Packer fan. Our favorite Packer fan. So we can kind of use this to talk about the wide receiver 3 spot as well. But obviously, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison, I want to make a video of him really bad, and maybe we will coming up here. But I just think I've always been a huge Addison guy. I think he's going to even break out more this year. He had 10 touchdowns last year. No one wants to talk about it outside of Viking fans, which is annoying. Like 10 touchdowns, and they weren't just easy touchdowns. Like a lot of his touchdowns, he burnt the shit out of his guy when people said he wasn't going to be a deep threat. So whatever.
Yeah. Oh, and then you got the one against the 49ers where he ripped the ball out of the defender's hands.
Ripped it, dude.
He's like that. Yeah.
Stud. He's going to have himself a season.
I think the reason why a lot of people knock him is because when Kirk was down, he really didn't produce that much. But then again, when Kirk was down, all the quarterbacks just looked towards Justin Jefferson to get them. I mean, other than obviously, those first couple weeks with Josh Dobbs, where he just kind of threw it to whoever he could. But we feel like when it got later in the season, Nick Mullins was mainly looking for JJ on every play, JJ and Hawkinson. So I think Addison, that was one of the things, being the number 2 receiver. I just feel like, Mullins went to his more safety net players with JJ and Hawkinson,
and then eventually,
those weeks with Kirk, first couple weeks with Kirk after JJ went down, Addison was absolute nails. So,
he finished the season with what 3 more touchdowns with Mullins, right? Or 2 of them were with Mullins.
I think was it 2 of them?
I think he had 2 in one game. I thought. I think he did. Here, I'll go to this real quick. My wide receiver is my second weakest spot, even though
he had 2 against the Bengals. That's what it was. And then 1 against Detroit last week of the season. Because remember, he had that one where Mullins scrambled and just threw that in the end zone. You're like, no, don't throw that. And then Addison came down.
Dude, Addison is it. He's gonna be top 20 wide receiver this year. That's the thing is, I like it's hard to say it's gonna be weak. I know we don't really have a bona fide third wide receiver, but we'll come back to that. We'll answer this. I forgot to answer your question earlier, Gary, too, about how we feel. What was it? How we feel about KOC and Cam?
I don't know. I don't know if they wait till after this year to see how things look before making a decision on extension, because they do kind of have to, because it's going into year 3, and I think they signed 4 or 5 year contracts. So I mean, do you want them to go into year 4 without an extension, knowing that they're going to go into a lame duck year 5? I don't know. So I don't know.
I think you're going to see an extension on them. I wouldn't even be surprised if you saw one, at least for KOC, before the season starts.
Yeah, I could see that.
But definitely after this season.
Like it is weird when you don't, because I think Darren Wolfson said it months ago that like they love Kevin O'Connell and they're still kind of waiting to see what Kwesi does. But I mean, extending your head coach, not your GM, is weird. Because then when you hire a GM, they always seem to want to hire their own head coach and get
I think weird. You see they probably will get hired at the same time. See, if they had an option, I think they'd be ready to give KOC an extension. I feel like they're not completely ready, but maybe they're waiting to give them both an extension after seeing how these draft picks work out this year and how they all feel about them. This will be a huge year for that, especially JJ McCarthy and Dallas Turner. That's it. If those guys look good, you're seeing an extension. As far as Slick Rick or Cam, who do you like better? I mean, I gotta go with Slick Rick.
Rick had some hits, man, and his trading was like he made some solid trades where he traded back and still got his guys and picked up more capital, got his multiple first round picks in multiple years. I mean, it all depends. Hey, if this class works out and McCarthy and Dallas Turner are those guys, then I'll go with Kwesi Adofo-Mensah right away. But as of right now, like where some of the trade back for 7th round picks was annoying with Rick, I feel like there was a lot more hits and fun draft nights. Yeah. I mean, this last draft was one of my favorite drafts that I've ever seen. But
Danielle Hunter,
but he had some like Rick had some hits.
Yeah, some gems. And if it were free agency so far, because that's the thing is like I think that I would just say so far because Rick he's always going to have that draft with Lewis Cine and all those guys. So it's hard to say right now. I could think that Kwesi has a chance to definitely pass Rick.
Oh,
actually, McCarthy works out. What he did this year, if it turns out, he immediately passes him, right?
Oh yeah. If McCarthy ends up being your guy for the next 15 years. You win. That's a win.
But I love both their, like, you got to love what Kwesi gets the coach that he wants in Kevin O'Connell, what they've done with this whole leadership and everything, the way, all the players love each other and all the players are talking to the upper high. Like everybody's like in sync together is huge in my opinion. And a lot of that comes from Kwesi. And, he literally passing up Jim Harbaugh for freaking Kevin O'Connell. Like, that's a big deal.
No, people will say the Wilfs made him force or pass up on Jim Harbaugh and forced him into O'Connell, which I still to this day don't 100% believe that that's actually how it all went down. But either way, like the thing I did like though is because Rick, there was always the complaints like, man, all he does is trade back. It's a 7th round picks and a lot of them don't work out. He did have the mid-round gems, but I do really appreciate Kwesi showing his gems and trading a bunch of mid-round picks to go up and get 2 guys that he really, really wanted.
I can see that.
So like that draft, and that's why if this one works out, you do need to give it to him because he was aggressive, went and got his hopeful quarterback of the future and an absolute stud edge rusher to take the place of another stud edge rusher that we lost, a former Spielman pick. So, and
you gotta love what Kwesi's done with the cap situation and still being able to go out and grab free agent wise, I'm on Kwesi right now. I think Kwesi's done an amazing job with free agents. Yes, not all of them have worked out. There's been injuries, but even the caliber of players that he's still able to get on this roster with that, like every single offseason so far, we're not going to be able to do nothing in free agency. And Kwesi does something every single time, whether it works out or not.
This last one was one of my favorites because it was a big move to move on from a stable, steady quarterback in Kirk Cousins and a really, really good edge rusher in Danielle Hunter. Like, it is hard to move on from those 2 players. But he did that. He still made some impact signings, and then his draft so far looks solid. So
if you two
could
make
an interesting discussion for sure, but I do think we still need to see a little more from Kwesi.
Yeah, I'm not ready to put him over Rick. No. I liked Rick for the most part. Obviously, he was up and down, but for the most part, I thought he was pretty damn good. I wish we could get Tim Conley as the GM for all our sports because that guy is the best GM in sports right now. That's all I got to say. He's amazing. He
brought in freaking
Rob
Kwesi
Dillingham
and Derek Felvey.
Oh yeah, I know. How awesome is that?
Yeah,
like you got. That.
Derek Felvey, he's just like, oh wow, your guys' front office allow you to do things. That's cool.
Yeah, I know. He's just there to watch.
What is spending money? I don't know what that means.
If you two could make a trade with our 1st round pick, trade back for more draft capital next year, maybe. Maybe
I would
do it yet.
As long as we stay in the 1st round at some point.
Yeah, I wanna see what things are looking like from a prospect and where we're gonna be sitting. I think before. Obviously, you'd do that before you'd make those kind of trades, but I'm not against it. I'm not against it with what we've just done with getting Dallas Turner and JJ McCarthy.
I mean, if you could kind of do what we did and trade back like 10 or so spots and pick up like an extra 3rd, 4th rounder, 2nd, 5th rounder, 2nd and 5th rounder, something like that, and some way to get a little more mid-draft capital back. But at this point, like you said, you do kind of need to see where we're at and what things are looking like. But I wouldn't hate it if that's what he decided to do at this point. Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, wait, was there another one I missed up here? But there was. Oh yeah. I'll answer this. Yeah. Rap's got to get in there. He'd be that morale boost. I could see it. I should have missed Tim Conley. He knows what he's doing. Oh, I bet Dylan. Oh yeah. What he did with Rob, dude, he's amazing. Like, he's that guy that you want, and you kind of feel this way with with Kwesi this draft, where it was like, this is what we need, and I'm just gonna go get it, like no matter what happens.
Yep.
And that's Tim. Like there was not even a world in my. I went into the Timberwolves draft like I just want a point guard of some sort. Like that's what we're missing, a scoring point guard who can create their own shots. And I would have never expected us to move up to 8 somehow to do it. I was amazed by him. So yeah, move him. Move along. Anyways, yeah, back to the Vikings football. Yeah, but it was
what's going on, Norse?
Hey, what up, Norse? So yeah, anyways, wide receiver. We'll wrap this up pretty quick here. But wide receiver, we talked about Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. Those guys are obviously super studs. Right now, everybody would say have Brandon Powell as our wide receiver 3, which I do like to an extent. I think I would rather see him as like that wide receiver 4. Fantastic. I have a hard time believing like he's going to be, a legit wide receiver 3, because this was the situation that we were in with Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, then Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson, where we could not get a wide receiver 3. I guess KJ Osborne maybe did well enough to make us feel like that wasn't a big deal anymore, but I still think we really need to find that spot. I would have rather had someone in that than Brandon Powell. But as far as other players, I think Jalen Naylor still has a lot of talent.
Yes, it sounds like he's kind of he was like the mini camp OTA kind of star again at wide receiver.
And that's what we've been kind of seeing. So it's like, if he can just be healthy, maybe we see something in him. But you don't see that a lot, where a guy gets injured that often. And then please don't sign Michael Thomas. Is he available? No, I think he plays for the Bills or the Tennessee.
He's with somebody. I just don't remember.
Tennessee, maybe. But Jalen Naylor, definitely a chance. You got Lucky Jackson, Thayer Thomas, Malik Knowles, Joash.
Malik Knowles was a guy last year who they were talking about being a potential return prospect who had some talent at receivers. So
yeah, and Deshaun Jones is that's the undrafted guy, right?
That was I think both. I think Ty James, because didn't we get 2 Mercer wide receivers?
Yeah, did they both get cut? I know one of them. One of them definitely
got cut. One of them.
Cut. Oh, yeah, Ty James. Yeah, that's what it is. And then, Trent Sherfield. That could be an interesting one. But again, I think we got a lot of wide receiver 4s, and we don't got a true wide receiver 3. It would be nice if somehow we would have been able to figure that out. Maybe if I wish we would have got Jerry Rice's kid or something. Give that a shot. I don't know.
Luke McCaffrey,
something. But next year, something that we can do. But as far my guess, Brandon Powell will be wide receiver 3. Jalen Naylor, I think there's a good chance, but I don't know. Just gets injured all the time. Every time he's starting to look good, boom, injured. So.
Yeah, definitely needs to shake that if he wants.
Quarterback.
I mean,
surprise bubble player, Sam Darnold.
I mean, hey, you never know. No, I don't.
Sam Darnold. That's what news today. Sam Darnold put the heart emoji under the Hawk Tua girls video or whatever, her podcast. She was on someone's podcast, and then someone took a screenshot of him putting a heart emoji under it. That's where we're at in the offseason, where that's the biggest news of the Vikings today.
Let's go. Sam wants to find out firsthand what she was talking about.
Yeah, he wants the old Hawk Tua.
But I think if you're asking me, week 1, quarterback depth chart, Sam Darnold, Nick Mullins. I think JJ McCarthy is your emergency quarterback guy, just because unless they really, really feel like he's going to be ready, I think they're going to take this slow and steady. I think they're going to go into the season with him being your emergency quarterback 3, because I don't think they're going to want to have him be one injury away from having to go play. So other than Jaren Hall, I do think Jaren Hall maybe makes it on the practice squad, but I do think he's kind of obviously he's the odd man out in this scenario.
Yeah, I can see him.
You don't keep 4, because you don't keep 4.
My money is that Jaren Hall ends up on the practice squad this year.
Which I could see. I don't think anyone's going to be we need to take, because I believe if you take somebody off the practice squad,
never mind,
because we'd have to cut them. We have to go through I think no matter what, you have to cut them. They have to go through waivers first, then you re-sign them to your practice squad. But I don't think anyone's going to be lining up to grab Jaren Hall personally.
That's a good point, Dylan. I didn't even realize that. That'd be interesting. I mean, I would take my chance on
I mean,
a guy who's a wide receiver. I mean, there's a time where he was a high end wide receiver too. Maybe not a complete wide receiver.
And I think now he's gotten to the point where he's a solid possession receiver. And then
that's
obviously, I know after
that position.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what you want your wide receiver 3 to be. And speaking of possession wide receivers, it's not going to happen because I don't think Carolina's going to move on from him. But I know after the video surfaced of JJ McCarthy throwing to Adam Thielen, a lot of people are like, Adam Thielen's coming back. Maybe it's like I don't see a scenario.
I don't see him.
I would absolutely love it, but I don't see Carolina moving on from him.
And not just that. I mean, he was their wide receiver 1 last year, so it's hard for me to believe that he left here because he would have had to be wide receiver 3 or whatever.
Yeah. And then I know people were talking. Then I know people were talking about like, oh, maybe because I know they're bringing up potential trade guys. I know they were talking about Amari Cooper, since it sounds like there's a contract dispute there, but we wouldn't be able to afford Amari Cooper at this point. No. I don't see that happening, and he's not going to. Amari Cooper is not going to come into a team be a wide receiver 3. I didn't know how he made it out. Whatever list, whoever posted that, like, how are you putting Amari Cooper on this list? Because he's a wide receiver, like low end wide receiver 1 at the very. And
people are talking about what's a kid from the Raiders, the white guy,
Hunter
Renfrow. Yeah, that could be an interesting one.
That
could be an interesting one. I'd like to see him in there in the mix. I think there needs to be another name in this mix.
And I think a guy with some experience was what you need to see.
Yeah, one that's already been. I mean, he's been a good wide receiver too before. He's played a good role in that before. I mean, last year they ended up with something. They had Myers, they had Jacoby Myers, and obviously Devontae Adams, where I think Renfrow just never had any opportunities anymore. But I'd like to see another body in here, unless they really feel good about some of these young players that we haven't seen before. But for the most part, that's just Ty James and Jayshawn Jones. Otherwise, we've seen Tristan Jackson, we've seen Thayer Thomas, we've seen Lucky. We haven't seen much Malik Noel's much, right? No. I don't believe so. Trent Sherfield, we know kind of what he is, but he's another he was a guy who was kind of like a wide receiver for the Bills. So I don't know. We'll see. That is kind of an interesting spot, but
yeah, for sure.
Jaron Hall, practice squad, all that stuff.
Yeah. Where do you rank the Wilfs owners? The top. Easy top.
I like them. There's times where I'm like,
in just Minnesota sports. Yes.
Yeah. In general, yes. I still think. I mean, first off,
they're very good. I like that they say whatever you think you need to do to help us win, go ahead and do it. And that's what I appreciate. You kind of let your guys do what they need to do. And Pollads are the worst owners in sports history, and it's freaking annoying.
I would give Julio a shot. Give me one of those old star veterans. Why not? I'd take a shot at it.
Yeah, why
What's
not?
wrong with Renfrow? I don't really. I think he might still have some game left in him. Landry has an LSU connection. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But that's the one thing about the Wilfs, though, I do want to say is, like, it's not just, like, even what they've done recently, like, for them to bring Kwesi in, let him do what he wants to this roster, you know, ultimately letting Kurt go and making the decision to go draft a quarterback at the 10th pick, all those kinds of things you're letting happen. But the big one is obviously it's just the culture that's built here and the facility and everything. I mean, we're ranked the number 2 last year and like the best
number
facilities.
1 the year before.
Number 1 the year before. So it's like that by itself shows how important. And then obviously, you know, there's definitely like this connectiveness with this, just our whole team that we did not have with Zimmer. And you feel it. It feels like this is kind of, and then it's kind of the same thing with the Timberwolves too.
Yeah,
which is super cool to see.
Right. I mean, yeah, Taylor did. I don't know. That whole Timberwolves ownership dispute is crazy, and I don't know what to think about it. We'll see. I do think eventually Lore and A-Rod get the team. I think eventually that's what ends up happening.
I mean, A-Rod and Lore said they say that they were saying that they pushed the Conley thing, getting Tim Conley.
We're at that point where everyone's going to say that they're responsible for everything.
But I mean, we've had Glenn Taylor for freaking ever, and he never did shit. Yeah. So I mean, unless he's just like, what? It's time to fucking win.
Yeah,
maybe.
Sure. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know enough about the Wild to really know where I'd rank their owner, but all I know,
I don't know.
The Wilfs are here, the Pollads are
down
here,
there,
and I can't go low enough to say how I feel about the Pollads because the Pollads fucking suck. But yeah.
Are you talking about Adam Thielen or am I saying a different Adam there? How can we help take you guys to the next YouTube level? Just freaking
watch the videos,
yeah.
hit like,
watch the videos, hit like.
comment.
That's the biggest one. If you guys watch any of our videos, just hit like, and then whether
say,
you
hey
finish
guys, great shit, and leave it at that.
yeah,
Comment.
and comment. Yeah, comment, like the video. That would be the best thing. Comment, like the video. Obviously, there's a lot of things we can definitely do better on our side to induce engagement from everybody else as well. And we're working on all that kind of stuff. We can do better on our side too. But we do appreciate everybody, what they're doing to help us with
telling me, man. You're telling me. There are two FTPs in my mind. Fuck the Packers and fuck the Polads.
I know Casey's been really, really tough on the Polads this year. But I get it. After a season like last year, and then to make our pitching
roster back, yeah. And somehow we're still succeeding. We're 6 games out of first in the division. Somehow, I don't know how. So if they just
you could be crazy.
More, I think we'd be okay. That would be a lot of money.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna have. I'm thinking next off season, we might prioritize guests a little bit. So I mean, I guess if
he's saying get some big names though, like
yeah. But what we would do is we'd get everybody. We'd get just a bunch. We focus on guests. That's the thing, is we haven't really focused on getting guests and reaching out to people yet. But we kind of have. I guess you could say we have like an order of things of how we're doing stuff on this podcast. And like to be completely honest, the first 2 years of doing this podcast was learning how to just talk on camera to people. And that took me a while to do. And then it kind of goes, and then we want to focus on our content. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And then we just have a lot of steps. Eventually, one of these steps are going to be to like focus on getting guests. And so as far as that part goes, yeah, we got a plan in place. We're going to make this better. As far as anybody in here who likes our stuff, it really is interacting with our content and going and liking our videos when they're out. If you click one of our videos, even if you don't finish it, maybe let it play on your phone so it goes through. Those kinds of things. Commenting will be big, but
for sure.
But yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we talked JJ about that earlier. Said he said it went really well. Didn't get a chance to listen, but cool experience, man. Cool experience for sure.
Oh yeah, killer. Drinking some prepping for USA versus Uruguay. What is it? What's going on? Is it
soccer?
Maybe. Hey, we appreciate you.
Absolutely,
appreciate you, man. Anyways, let's get this card going, huh? The Harrison Smith out of 75 green scope 2019 Harrison Smith green scope Prizm out of 75. Get those hashtag SKOLs in the comments, like the videos, and subscribe if you have not already. Let's go.
Did you actually remember to turn on the
I got it.
The hashtag SKOL machine this time? One more time, I will show off. I did.
USA and Uruguay tonight.
I did get one of the helmets that I eventually tomorrow will be up on my wall, and I'm super excited about it. Showed up last week.
Sweet. Everyone had a Star Hill somewhere. Got good. Hey, all I'm telling you guys is we're going to be putting in the work. That's one thing is going to be a fact. We are trying to get better, and we work outside of our podcast and stuff. Like, we're going to try our best to get it just to make this as good as it gets. That's really what it is. It's not so much about like just trying to grow subscribers and stuff. It's like we're just wanting to make good content. Steve, you could be a guest. Hey, you guys could come on anytime you want. Anytime any of you guys hey, anytime anybody in here is like, no, like, can I come on or whatever? Definitely let us know.
For sure.
Hey, appreciate you. No, stop.
Yeah, it's funny. So since college, we've seen each other in person, twice? Pretty much SKOL Fest, and then one time when you were up in Duluth.
In person, yeah. So we've literally seen each other twice in person
in the last
3, 4. Well, since college was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I don't know. I don't even want to keep thinking about it. I think that number's going up.
I think 7. I want to say I want to say we graduated. I graduated like winter of 2016. I think you graduated like May of 2017.
Yeah. So
7 to 8 years.
I don't know. We're getting old. That's all it is.
Yeah, right.
Let's go.
Hey,
Let's go, dude.
Perfect.
And we should have more information on SKOL Fest soon here. We're gonna have like a big meeting with everybody that's a part of it. Hey, you're still young, Norris. You're still young, bro. Come on. But no, we're gonna have more discussions on all of that. So hopefully we'll have some information. Hopefully in the next few weeks, we get a good idea. I think most people are kind of taking this time to be like, okay, we're chilling out a bit before training camp starts and things really start to ramp up. And then I think after 4th of July, I think 4th of July is a big one. I think after that, we'll kind of get the thick balls rolling and get a better idea. I know Rap and SK and those guys, and I know Too Evil as well, are working on finding a place to do it this year because we're going to have to make it bigger. Every single year, it's going to have to be bigger and bigger. So we're going to have to figure out a new place every single year probably.
For sure.
But anyways, popping this bad boy up. Let's go. $16 entries.
Wow.
About to give this away.
16 entries, 16 viewers. Are they all the same people? I don't know for sure, but we'll find out.
Let's go. Obviously, got to be here to win. Why is on my screen? On this screen, it's showing that I have like a. Do you see my giveaway screen on our thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Norris for real stud. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, we got a lot of rock band people in here.
I wish I could sing. If I could go back and do one thing over again, I'd have learned how to sing and I'd have joined a band. That'd have been fun.
I would have played more sports for sure. I would definitely not be in a band because I would have sucked. Maybe if I was like a drummer or something.
But that's the thing. You're going
not
back
a singer.
to be better at it. You'd go back and be better at it.
A little bit of guitar. But then that shit was hard. I would be Triple H of the show. We have the I don't think I have it on here. Do I? No, I don't. The Stone Cold glass breaking music. I do need to get that in here.
Well, or we've got to get our soundboard set up.
Yeah, which that's another thing on our list.
Yeah.
All right, let's give this card away. Got to be here to win. Y'all know the rules. 3, 2, 1. Harrison Smith out of 75. Prizm. Let's go. Who is the winner tonight? Got to be here to win. Y'all already know those rules. If you want the showdown, give me the mic.
Oh,
Norris.
Will he keep it? He's given the last couple away. Will he?
Norris has been on fire, dude.
The Harrison Smith one, so I would probably have to say yes. You keep that.
Yeah, Norris. I mean, I'm assuming you're in here, Norris.
Can't make SKOL Fest this year. Currently, waiting on upcoming next surgery.
Upcoming next surgery, but
it all goes well for you, man.
Oh man, let's go, my guy. Hey, we're gonna be keep pushing these SKOL Fests every year. Gary already.
Sure. You'll have your chances, Kinetic. You'll have your chances to be there for sure.
We're gonna make SKOL Fest the biggest thing ever. Hopefully. Appreciate new card keep if yeah. Definitely new. And hey, I think even part of our plan, we're probably going to have more giveaway stuff, ideas coming in too. So more opportunities for that, some cool stuff. So I don't know. We got some stuff in the works.
Yeah. Do we want to run one more? Do we want to run one more and toss t-shirt out there since we still have some of those left?
Let's do it. Here, I'll do it. All right, let's do it. Here, I'll do it. I'll be right back. Let me grab it.
All right. We'll do that. Why not? We have plenty of those t-shirts we haven't sold yet, so we might as well give one away. Jamie, since he's gone, I can blame it on him because the logos are a little smaller than we wanted. And he was the one that came up with the idea for him. So since he's not here, I'll put all the blame on Jamie's shoulders about why the t-shirts aren't as good as they could be, but it is what it is. They're still pretty comfortable. Yeah, I don't know. I was actually when Jamie brought up Too Evil, I was actually going to ask, where is he now? I haven't heard from him. Yeah. I mean, we haven't gone live as much as we have in the past. Always, like Jamie said, we're kind of keeping it cool till training camp kicks in. But yeah, I'm surprised Too Evil in here. It's weird.
You got a stripper pole, Gary? All right, yeah, we're gonna do it. So we're gonna give away a GG Sports podcast shirt, telling you the most comfortable T-shirt you'll ever own in your whole entire life.
Ooh. Get you some background flags. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be sweet for sure. Yeah, Jamie, we should send that over to him. That'd be sick.
Hey, I got you. Hey, we appreciate that big time,
Yeah,
Norris.
huge.
But yeah, let's give this away. Hashtag SKOLs if you're still in here. Most comfortable shirt, and even better, has our logo on it, but it's still smaller than I wanted it to be, and I'm still upset about it. But it's all good. It's all good, you know? The next ones aren't going to be small. The next ones I'm going to make way too big. Way too big, probably. But yeah. So we're giving away this shirt.
For something?
What's that?
What?
What'd you say?
I said to compensate for something?
Yeah, yeah. We make our logos big specifically, other than Casey's Magnum condoms.
Yeah, right. Want to talk about compensating?
Hey, what up, Rob? Welcome in. Welcome in.
Rob.
Talk about compensating. It always reminds me of It's Always Sunny. You always got to leave a Magnum condom in your wallet.
Not your wallet.
In drop. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Hashtags rolling in. Hashtags are rolling in. Hashtag SKOL, SKOL, SKOL. Perfect, Norris. I would like big. Like I'm never messing that up again. It drives me insane. Like literally to the point where I'm like, I don't know. Like just like we did it right with this, right? Compared, like Casey's wearing the shirt. This was the way it was supposed to be. Yeah,
it was supposed to be at least like this.
Yeah, it was like it's supposed to be like the Superman symbol. That's what it's supposed to be. So I was really disappointed when it wasn't, which was on me. All right, let's give this one away. Oh yeah, I have to bring it back up.
I do. Who is taking home a T-shirt? Let's find out.
Let's do it. All right, here we go. Got to be here to win. Y'all know the rules. 3, 2, 1, boom. Who we got? Who we got?
Then you're gonna have to let us know T-shirt size as well.
Which Bob is Bob here?
Bob, are you still here?
I haven't seen him in a minute. You got to be here to win. That's the thing is we only have. Hello, Jamie. Wears minis. Wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, minis? Mini what? Mini what, Gary? I mean, you ain't wrong, but you know what I'm saying? What was I gonna say? Bob, are you here? Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We only have large and medium. We're out of extra large, I think. So we only have large and medium. So if it doesn't fit,
hang it up.
Hang it up.
Frame it, hang it up in your office.
Frame it up, frame it, hang it up, and put it on the ceiling of your bed. Yeah, my knife is the worst. Or my knife is the worst. My wife is a nurse. No kid says it all, brother. Hey, working on it, dude. Trying to anyways.
Bob? Oh boy.
I think we gotta run it back.
I think so.
Gary taking shots tonight. See, Garrett wants to talk about me having mini condoms. Well, he's just trying to get Casey laid all the time. Like, what is this, Gary? What is this, Gary? I don't think he's here. I think we're gonna.
Yeah, I gotta run it back. Sorry, Bob. If you watch this afterwards, maybe next time.
Yeah, Bob, you're our guy though. You're still our guy. All right, let's run it again. 3, 2, 1, boom. What we got? And come on, boom. Dean, Dean, are you in here? It's been a minute. It's been a minute for Dean too. I'm you, broskies. That's my guy, Gary. Let's see, Dean. I know he was in here earlier, but I haven't seen him say anything in a minute.
Oh, boy. I think we got to run it again.
Sorry, Dean. Sorry. Y'all know the rules. It's been the same thing for a year and a half.
Oh, not again. Someone check.
Someone check on Dean.
All right, I think we got a runner again.
All right, we're running it. We're running it.
10, 9, 8,
Out there.
7.
Okay. Yep.
Five,
Whenever you get to 1 or 0,
4,
I mean.
3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Draw again.
All right, who we got? Got to be here to win. You already know. You definitely know now if you didn't before. So what we got? Boom. Steve.
Oh, but Steve's he's got to be still here, right?
Steve, our favorite Packer fan. It's been Steve at 7:25. So just like, yeah, he's been
4
he's
minutes
been
ago.
in the Zoom. Yeah.
I'm here. Dan is close to Dean.
Dan is close to Dean.
Hey, there's Steve.
Hey, let's go.
Sounds good. All right, Steve. Congratulations. Have
you won anything before? I know you've won stuff before and you've given it away.
Because why would he want Viking stuff? Which is his Viking stuff, but it's also our stuff that makes it cool.
I think Steve, you still want this, right? Blasphemy. We got more shirts. We'll probably give some more of those away. I think.
And also, if you do want one, you can also. We're selling them for like $25. So hit us up if you want one. Who can I give this one? Ooh, that's a good question. Pick anybody. Pick anybody from the chat that you see right now.
We can do that. We can. Here, you know what? We're gonna do something here. We're gonna do something kind of stupid, but we're gonna do it anyways. Give me a second.
Never, Gary. Never. Fresh out.
Okay. So
it's not a card this time, Steve. It's a t-shirt.
Kind of stupid, but fun. Exactly. All right. How about this, Steve? We're gonna do, since you said Gary, I'll add his name into this, but we're just gonna do something here.
Are you gonna add just names of people that are still here?
So this is what I'm gonna pick. 5 names of people here. Since Steve picked Gary already, this is called it's a duck race. So this is like some sort of thing. It's kind of fun. All right, so we're gonna do Gary, and then I'm just going to here. Let me come back here. I'm going to do the giveaway tool to get the rest, to fill the rest in. We'll go 5 here. You'll see what happens. All right, we're gonna keep drawing. 5 people to join the duck race.
I see what you're
5 people to join the duck race. Got to be here to win still. Got to be here to win. So Gary's on the list already.
To win.
Rob, let's go. Rob, are you still here?
Hey, Sarah, what's going on?
Hey, Sarah's here. Sarah, you got to get your hashtag SKOL in.
Okay, Rob, you get entered into the duck race.
Let's go.
There we go.
And I better put. Okay. All right. So this is just to get into the duck race. We have 2 names out of 5. Got to be here to join. Got to be here to join. Let's see, boom, boom. Dan! I know Dan's here.
Right.
I know Dan's here. Yeah, Dan, you're here, right? You got to be here. You were just in here. I'll just keep going, though. So we got 3 names. I'll keep going. Dan, let us know that you're here for sure. All right, next one. Boom. Oh.
Made it. All right.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. One more name. Did Dan pop in yet? I'll come back to Dan. But let's draw again. Boom. And we got, boom, Dylan. Dylan, you're in here. You were in here. All right.
It has been a minute. It has been a minute.
Dan and Dylan. We're waiting on them too.
There's Dylan. All right.
All right. All right. All right. We'll give Dan a second. Dang it, Dan. He left after that shirt the first time. I know you're in here, Dan. You were in here 4 minutes ago. How about this? I'm just going to, for now, I'm just gonna we'll have 6. I'm gonna add this one more, and if he's not in here, we'll have 5.
Okay.
If he is, we'll have 6.
Sounds
so
good.
Let's run it back one more time. Run it back one more time. Who we got? Who we got? Boom, boom. Barber. SKOL for Life Barber. Are you in here still? Yeah. Yeah, it's for Casey's.
No. No, it is not.
Barber. Know what? I'm just Barber's been a supporter for a while.
You're making exceptions? Oh boy. Oh boy.
He's always in. He's like in every show. All right. All right. No exception. Sorry, Barber. I tried to blame it on Casey.
Yeah, don't blame it on me. I'm just saying, if you bend the rules for one, you got to bend the rules for all, and then that's how anarchy starts. Okay, Barber's here. We're good.
Hey, let's go. Okay, let's go. Okay.
I guess we're going. With 5.
I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry, man.
But again, we'll be doing this in the future. So
yeah. Okay. So remember, one person wins this. One person wins this. Let me share my screen.
This is for one of our t-shirts.
This is for the t-shirt. One winner. At this point, you don't really have to be here to win, I don't think.
But I mean,
we
why would you get entered into this and not stay? Doesn't make any sense.
Did I replaced that, right? Yeah. Okay. No, we're gonna go 40. We're gonna go 45 seconds here. All right. So when I click this, whoever crosses the finish line first, get this a little bigger. All right, that's good. All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go. What the heck? Oh, this is what I need to do. Uh-oh, malfunction. Oh, no way. This is really gonna... Oh, my. Oh, my. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties.
No stop. See you next time. Appreciate it. Have a happy 4th.
Appreciate you. All right, now I have to remember all the names that are in here.
Dylan.
And who else am I missing?
Rob.
Okay. I don't know what happened there. This ain't the first time I've done this.
Someone call IT desk.
Do I...
Ooh. The ducks are different now. I'm voting for the panda duck, kinetic.
I don't think I'm supposed to click that.
Click what?
Oh, there's like a start button up there. Oh,
wow,
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. All right, now we're for real. We're for real. This is happening.
All right.
I figured it out because I found where the start button was.
Place your bets, everybody.
Place your bets.
I'm still
Winner wins this shirt. 45 seconds. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Team Panda Duck.
Who we got? Barber's in the lead. Barber's in the lead. Number 2, purple, in the lead. In the lead. He's holding it.
Jeez.
He's holding it.
Cruising.
He's cruising. He's cruising. Is there anyone going to be able to catch up?
What are these other ducks doing? My goodness.
Marver's taking it. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, man. This could be anyone's match now.
10 seconds. Oh, Panda Duck.
Oh,
Let's go.
Rob.
Oh.
Rob is taking it. Rob is taking it.
Oh, I think he's got it.
He got it. Boom. Oh. Dang. Rob with the Rudolph with the comeback right here. That's crazy.
All right, Rob. Nice win.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay. That was fun for a second there. Rob, congratulations, man. Congratulations. I'm assuming you're in here somewhere. No matter what, it's yours. I'll have to I don't think you've won before. Hey, there it is. There it is.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so toss our email in there.
Yep, here's our email. Email us a good address to send that shirt to.
We need more duck races. We definitely can. We definitely can do more in the future. That's for sure.
Yeah, I like duck races. I just have to be creative with them.
And again, if anybody does want a t-shirt, hit us up. We do have them. We are selling them for $25 a pop. As Jamie said, super comfortable t-shirts. So
literally the most comfortable t-shirt. Ask Big Rail and Dad, because he knows.
Absolutely.
They're insanely comfortable. Though, Rob, I only have large and medium.
I was in that slot. Yeah, so hit us up. Let us know. We'll make sure.
My bad, Dylan.
We'll make sure
we'll run more of those. We'll run more of those.
Yeah, get that sent to you. But all right, anything else?
Let's go. Oh, I'll get that too, just in case.
Yeah. But otherwise, I think that kind of does it for us. As Jamie said, end of the month, large. Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Steve, that was for the shirt. The card went to Norse.
Yep. So
the shirt was the one that you won.
Well, and then
gave away.
But either way. But yeah. Anyway.
You know what, Steve? I'm gonna get you. Hey, I'm gonna be looking out. I'll see what I have for Packer cards, Steve. I think I probably have some. I know I do. So I'll look for something and I'll send you a Packer card. So hit my email too, Steve. Hit my emails too. I'll get you a Packer card. I need to get rid of them anyways, you know?
Yeah. Anything else though you can think of? I think we're pretty good here. But as Jamie said, end of the month is when we'll kind of start picking it up a little more. We do have next week. We'll be back with Dave. Thanks everybody again for hopping in. Have a great 4th of July weekend. Hopefully the weather works out for me right now. Weather is not looking too great, but hopefully that takes a turn. Everybody enjoy your weekends and make sure to join us next week. I believe we'll be on our channel with Dave on SKOL Experience on Wednesday.
Bleacher Report. We'll be on Bleacher Report too, picking who we think are the best players in Viking history at each position.
So we'll be making a starting lineup basically with the entirety of Vikings history. Since we're a little younger, it'll be interesting to see what we come up with. Make sure you join us.
We're probably going to piss some people off, but
most likely. But that will be next Thursday on Bleacher Report, so make sure to join there as well. As I said, everybody, have a great 4th of July weekend, and we'll see you guys next time.
Let's go. All right. Let's go, Vikes.